I'm Andrew Cedar with the Times Leader, and we're at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs in Plains Township, where on Tuesday morning, officially, if the state allows it, table games will be introduced here in Luzerne County. We are at a blackjack table, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to expect if you sit down at one with some money and your player's card. So if you're at the table, you would deal in, you'd put your card down with your money, and the dealer would give you your chips. Now, I'm here with Jeff Walker, who's the Vice President of Table Games. And Jeff, your player's card, by giving that to the dealer when you sit down at a table, what does that do?
Players Club, it earns you extra complimentaries at our property, earns you points. And when you hand it in, our supervisor will take your card, swipe it into our table view system, which automatically rates you, gets all your data in the system, and she'll get you in the seat that you're located in and put your average bet in the time that you played down.
If you have your chips, you can touch these chips once you get them over to you. You have different denominations. You have the green ones are $25, red ones are $5 if you're lucky. I believe the black ones are $100. Hopefully you'll be, not hopefully for you guys, hopefully for us, we'll walk out with some of those today. The minimum table bet is posted on the video screen at each table. In this case, it's $10.
Correct.
The maximum of $1,000.
Typical minimum would be $10, $15, and $25 tables. In our high limit gaming area, we'll run $50 and $100 tables.
All right, so typically there will be a table full of people playing. Today it's just myself that'll be gambling. And I'm going to start off with the minimum bet of $10. You'll put it in the circle that's in front of your seat. And then the dealer,
Dealer's going to have
some good cards.
Dealer's going to ask you to cut the cards since you're the only guest at the table.
You can put that yellow card anywhere that you want in the deck. You can put it 2 cards in, 102 cards in. There's 6 decks of cards in that stack that she's on.
Correct. We only ask that you cut at least 1 deck.
Now, a typical blackjack player knows the goal is to get as close to 21 without going over as possible.
Correct.
All right, so that's what we're going to hope to do right now.
Good luck, sir. 13.
So Christine deals me about one of the worst hands you can possibly start with. But the dealer is showing a 4. Will you be able, as you're playing, to ask the dealer for tips and advice, or no?
If you ask the dealer or answer you, the dealer won't just give you advice. But if you say, you know, how do I play this against basic strategy, the dealer will give you that information, or the supervisor will.
And Christine, basic strategy says on a dealer showing a 4, 5, or 6, you would stay. So your options as a player, if you want to hit, and I'm not going to on this, but if you want to hit, you would either tap, knock. What are the signs? Any contact with the table is a hit. If you want to stay, you would just wave your hand over the chips. All right, and in this case, I'm going to stay.
18.
Dealer beats me. Now, you'll notice on the table it says dealer must draw to 16 and stand on all 17s. What does that mean?
It's exactly what it says. The dealer has to draw when he has 16 or she has 16, and on all 17s they stand. So we don't hit on all 17 here.
Okay. Now we get to explain insurance. Jeff, if you could, what does insurance mean, and what would I have to do if I wanted to play?
If you wanted to insure your wager, because the dealer has an ace up is when we would offer insurance, you would simply put down half of your wager.
It would be $5 in this case.
$5 on the insurance line, and it would pay 2 to 1 if the dealer had blackjack.
So I would take my half wager of $10, which is $5. I'd put it in the insurance line. If the dealer has a 10 or a face card under that ace, I actually get to, what, double that money?
Yeah, well, the dealer will actually take this losing wager,
put it into there.
pay that twice.
Now, if the dealer does not have the 10 under there, she takes the 5, and I continue playing.
Correct. You still have the opportunity to beat the dealer.
The dealer does not have one.
All right, so she takes the $5, but I'm still in the game. So I will hit here.
18.
And I'm going to stay at 18. And I lose again. Now, in this case, we have an 11. A 10 or an 11 are really, if you don't get a blackjack on the first draw, the best hands you can have. It gives you the chance to double your winnings by taking the bet total that you've already bet, putting it, is it behind or alongside? Alongside. And in this case, I am hoping for a 10 to get that 21 and double my money.
Correct.
But I only get 1 card.
1 card.
Doubling down on 11. 21.
And I have it. So now we have to hope that She doesn't.
Get 21.
She doesn't push, which is a tie at 21.
Dealer shows. Come on. 21.
I don't lose my money. I don't win any money.
Push.
So that's considered a push.
16.
She's showing a 5 though, and you never want to hit when the dealer has a 4, 5, or 6. So I'm going to stay.
There we go.
And now the dealer bust. She went over, so I actually get paid.
Yes, you do.
I actually get the $25 in winnings. That's a good start. Halfway through this. Can you play multiple circles?
Play multiple circles as long as it's not too crowded. Obviously, if all the tables were full and all the spots were full, we'd ask the customers to minimize their playing to one gaming spot. But while it's during the slow times, we would encourage people to play 2 hands.
So what I would do, if there's nobody sitting in this seat, I could put 10 here, 10 here, and they're both me.
Correct.
Okay, we'll try it and see what happens. And the dealer has blackjack. So I lose, I don't even get the
I guess
place to
that
bet.
didn't help too much.
No. Now here's a question. I know if you're at the table for a while, winning or losing, and you need to go to the restroom, what do? Do you have to pick up your chips and leave, or what?
We would always suggest that the player picks up his chips and leaves. Obviously, the dealer watches the table, but they can't be responsible for everybody's money on the table. And the dealer would take a clear lammer spacer, and you would say, can you see one spot or these 2 spots from me? If you were playing 2 spots, you'd say, could you mark up these 2 spots? She'd mark up the 1 spots, and she continually played that. And you said, I'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes.
And is there a time limit for when you need to return? Before
We
they'll
generally
take the
will
chip?
hold it 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Wow.
I don't think you got one hand over 15 or 14
I have
or
not
12.
been dealt anything over a 15 yet, Jeff. In this case, I almost feel like I should just I should hit, but
We do offer surrender.
what is surrender?
Surrender is when you feel the dealer, if he has a face card up, if you think they have another face card under there, or you just, since you've had terrible luck the whole time, you would surrender. In that case, that's not a bad surrender for a player's standpoint.
And you would lose half of your chips?
Yeah, a 15 against a 10 showing isn't a bad surrender hand. You would get half your chips back.
And you just tell the dealer when it comes around to you.
Surrender.
Surrender.
Just make sure you don't give any hand signals, because somebody will be like this, surrender, and the dealer reacts on
just
hand
say
signals, say surrender.
Okay. Good to know. I should have used that about 8 times already.
Yeah, right?
If I wanted to, win or lose, if I felt she was doing a good job, I got a blackjack, I want a hand to tip the dealer, any denomination you want, but if I wanted to give her a 5, I would basically slide it in, just say, that's for you.
You could either personally give it to the dealer and say, this is for you for servicing me, or you
can
could
bet.
wager it on the side of your bet, on the side of the circle, and say,
So-
I'd like to bet along with you.
So I basically can have her take $5, it's hers, no strings attached, or I can put it here and she's playing with me. If I win, she wins.
Correct.
If I lose, she loses. That money goes right back to the house.
And a lot of people prefer this method. It's more camaraderie.
Does my tip bet to play have to match what I'm betting, or
No,
it can
you
be
can
the
bet
minimum?
anything under.
The minimum at the table, which in this case
$1,
is 10.
$1 or more.
Oh, you can. So I can do 5 even though the table minimum's 10.
Sure.
All right. So I'm gonna wager 10 for her
Thank you.
because we've been playing so long, and I finally won a couple.
Fantastic.
So now I have a 19. She is a 2. I'm going to stay at 19.
8, 14. Great.
She busts. So she wins and I win.
Everybody's
She got
a
a
winner.
nice tip. And the key is probably to find the minimum amount table you could if you're a beginner.
Sure.
Start low and work your way up if you get comfortable.
I always
Don't start
suggest
at the
that.
$25 or the $50 tables.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you,
It's been
Christine.
great.
Thank you.